Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Mary. Norman Bates. We're going to introduce you to him right now. Norman, come here. Norman likes to free roam. He has a mind of his own. This is Mr. Norman Bates. Yeah! I have had him now for about a month and 3 weeks. I think I told you guys in my Reptile Expo vlog that I did get a pet. And this is Norman. If you can tell, he is a very, very big bearded dragon with a mind of his own. Now let me tell you guys. Okay, I'm just going to let him run around because Norman, this is Norman's, this is where he quarantined. And for like 3 days he was free roaming, and now he thinks he is a free roaming dragon, which he's not. We'll get into all that. So yeah, I've had him for quite some time now, and he was quarantined in my room for a month. I can't tell you guys enough that if you get a new pet, no matter if it's like a baby, you know the person, the breeder, you should, always quarantine your animals. Now I think like frogs are a little bit different when it comes to quarantine, but something as big as like a bearded dragon, especially snakes, it's just always important to quarantine. So I had to get him, first I got him a 40 gallon because I was still waiting for his 4x2x2 120 gallon enclosure that he is in now. So he wasn't a 40 gallon, but for a, you can see him in the background. For a minute he free roamed in this room, and I just had like a big heat lamp for him and he would bask underneath it. So he quarantined in here for a month, and now he is in my reptile room. The reason why we're not in my reptile room right now, it's because it's really, really warm in there, and I have no windows and a lot of heat. So to save myself, that's why we're in here. And Norman, I knew, was not going to be on me for that long. I'm going to try to grab him eventually here so he can be on my shoulder, because this video is all about him. Norman! Okay, so yes, I got him at the Anaheim Reptile Expo, the Reptile Super Show. I absolutely had no plans on purchasing a bearded dragon. I thought my Hypo Zero leatherback Santana that I've owned for like 4 years now, that I got as a very, very tiny dragon, was going to be my one and only, but clearly God had other plans for me. Yeah, so I walked all around the expo, and towards the very back, I believe they're the reptile factory. They had, all their animals displayed, and for some reason he just caught my eye, mainly because he is ginormous. And as I was talking to, I think he's like one of the owners or one of the guys who works there, we happened to know a friend of a friend, and so he was going to give me a really good deal on Norman. Not that that really mattered. I already was falling in love with him, and then the cherry on top was I was going to get 80% off basically. So I told him I'd be back. I really need to think about it. It's not like I never cared for a dragon before, so it wasn't like I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But he is very large, and he is going to need a big enclosure eventually. So I really had to think it through, but for some reason, I don't know, I wanted to bring him home, and so I did. So I guess he is considered a German bearded dragon, German giant bearded dragon, just because he is so big. They told me he's at least 4 years old. He's a male, obviously, and he is wild. He has a mind of his own. He is so smart. Now don't get me wrong, Santana is smart and all, but Santana is so chill. This guy is active. He is constantly running around. Like every morning he needs to get out. I think because I let him free roam for those couple days, he got it in his head that this was his new enclosure. And so when he had to go into the temporary 40-gallon glass enclosure, he was pissed. He was not having it. He was going psycho. So I had to like rush order the 4x2x2, which I still don't think is big enough. I got him the 4x2x2 120-gallon by Doobie Roaches, but the thing about those is you can eventually like add another one to it. So I think because he is so big, that is something I am going to do. He's wild. This guy is demanding. He has hissed at me. He has blackbearded at me. He has tried to bite me. But you know what? We are way beyond that now. That was like the first week. I think mainly because he was pissed that he was in the 40-gallon and he wanted to free roam. But the other day I got to trim his nails. I wanted to wait like a week for him to get to know me before trimming his nails. They were super long, and I wish I got it on film. Oh, there he is. I wish I got it on film of him, of me trimming his nails, because he did really well. And I think he's just like slowly starting to get to know me, knowing that I'm not going to hurt him, that I'm just like here to feed him and let him run around when he wants. Let me try to grab him real quick so we can see him real. Say hello to the people, Norman. So yeah. Big personality, extremely smart. Like everybody that owned dragons would say like, oh, they all have different personalities, and I never really got that until I met Mr. Norman Bates, because he has a mind of its own and he is just the cutest. My favorite thing about him is probably the way he runs around. I have to feed him a lot of greens just because of how big he is. Oh my gosh, calm down, Norman. Calm down. You gotta say hi to YouTube. Still right there. So yeah, this is my new bearded dragon, Mr. Norman Bates. I love him to death. I will give you eventually a tour of his new enclosure, because I ended up stacking his on top of Santana's because I have the two Doobie Roaches that match. But I still need to get like a bunch of, I still need to get a bunch more decor for him. I just have like the standard stuff. He has some branches, a big hide, a little hide, a water dish. But yeah, he is really healthy, really active. So that's all I can ask for. A proper introduction to you meeting Mr. Norman Bates. Comment down below what you think about him, because I'm absolutely in love. I will give you guys a whole tour of his habitat. He thinks that this room is his habitat. I'm sorry, Mr. Norman, it's not. Can you just chill? Don't hiss at me. Just chill. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed meeting Mr. Norman Bates. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, because I will be showing a lot more of this guy. He's scratching. Follow me on all socials. I will be posting a whole lot more of this guy. He is wild. But yeah, until next time, I will see you guys. Bye.